Have you ever felt like time itself was working against you? Like every second drags, every tick of the clock echoing in your chest, and every delay feels like a small betrayal? Liora knew that feeling all too well. She lived in a quiet village, tucked between gentle hills, a place where the wind whispered secrets through the trees, and the sun lingered longer in the mornings than anywhere else. Liora wanted everything at once. A shiny bike that could race down hills, shoes that gleamed like stars, and the first apple from the orchard that crowned the village hill. Every morning, she ran to the orchard, stretching on tiptoe, hoping the branches would gift her the prize before anyone else even noticed it. But the apples never fell. The orchard stayed silent, patient, almost mocking her impatience. One morning, the rhythm of her world changed. A cart creaked its way through the village, stacked with tiny clocks, each ticking to its own heartbeat. The man guiding it moved slowly, deliberately, as if he were carrying something sacred, winding gears, polishing faces, adjusting hands that moved with a soft, almost magical precision. Liora was drawn to him immediately. "Why does it take so long?" she asked, tapping her foot in frustration. The man's eyes twinkled, and he replied gently, "Some things cannot be hurried, and some gifts remain hidden until the right moment." Liora didn't understand. How could gifts hide? How could anything worth wanting wait? But she found herself returning to him day after day, unable to resist watching his slow, purposeful work. And as she watched, something unexpected happened. She started to imitate him. She polished stones in the river, tracing their veins with her fingers until they gleamed. She drew patterns in the dirt, planted seeds carefully, and even learned to slow her breathing to match the rhythm of the village. Days passed, hours stretched. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Her hands were sore from polishing stones, her knees dirty from planting seeds. Impatience gnawed at her, louder than ever. But then, almost imperceptibly, things began to shift. A sprout peeked through the soil. A stone she had polished glimmered in the sunlight. Even the smallest clock on the cart began to tick more clearly, as if it were alive. One misty morning, Liora noticed something astonishing. A single apple hung low on the branch she had been staring at for weeks. Its skin glowed red, warm in the first sunlight, almost pulsing as if it were waiting for her. She reached for it, but paused. Something made her stop, not fear, but wonder. She looked around. The village seemed still, holding its breath with her. And then she plucked the apple, feeling a quiet thrill that had nothing to do with the fruit itself. The orchard had been waiting all along, but the waiting had been teaching her to notice, to breathe, to appreciate. The clockmaker packed his cart silently, giving her a subtle nod as he moved toward the road that led out of the village. Liora held the apple, feeling the warmth of the sun and the pulse of the quiet world around her. She realized that the waiting had not been wasted. The hours of patience, the small frustrations, the careful attention, they had shaped her. The orchard had gifted her more than an apple. It had given her understanding, a rhythm of life she had never known before. And then, something even more unexpected happened. As she turned to walk home, Liora noticed one of the tiny clocks from the cart sitting on a low branch of the apple tree, glowing faintly. She picked it up, curious, and the hands spun backward briefly, then stopped perfectly at the moment she had first stepped into the orchard. She felt a strange warmth in her chest, a sense that the clock had been waiting for her as much as she had been waiting for the apple. From that day on, Liora walked more slowly through the village. She noticed the curve of the stone bridge, the sparkle of dew on a leaf, the way sunlight struck a windowsill just so. She watched the river, listened to the wind, and for the first time felt truly present. When she passed villagers rushing about,
She no longer felt frustrated or left behind. She carried the calm she had learned, a quiet magic born of patience. Sometimes, life hides its treasures not at the end of a hurry, but along the path you walk quietly, when you notice the sway of branches, the shimmer of light on a polished stone, or the soft ticking of a clock. Liora had discovered that patience itself could be a gift, one that revealed its value slowly, quietly, in the moments you almost miss. And in that stillness, she found a joy deeper than any apple, richer than any prize she had ever imagined, and infinitely more precious than the rush she had once craved. Sometimes, the most ordinary moments are the ones that hold the extraordinary, if only you are willing to wait and watch.